One man, Jack Shindo, using his Delta Plasma Pendant, transforms into Ultraman, Defender of the Universe, Ultraman, Defender of the Universe.
Hello. Welcome to the law offices of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. No one is available right now to take your call. Please leave a message with your name, number, reason you're calling, and someone will get back to you soon. Have a great day.
Hi, look, my name is Voltron, and, I'm leaving this message because I need to sue this other guy who, his name is Ultraman, and he's claiming to be the defender of the universe, but, you see, I'm the defender of the universe. I was the original, so he can't be the defender of the universe. You can give me a call back at 555 GO GOO Lion. Alright. Thank you. Bye. Welcome, I am the Kaiju no Kami, and today I'm going to review Ultraman Towards the Future!
If you were a child in the early 90s, you might have remembered seeing a bunch of Ultraman toys in stores that also featured a commercial like this.
Only Ultraman can save the Earth from menacing Machaba, slimy two-headed Bogan, and fire-breathing Garukadan. I am Ultraman.
As we all know, Ultraman is a product from Japan. Created by Eiji Tsuburaya in 1966 that ended up becoming a hit franchise, continuing on to even this very day. What you may not know is that in 1990, Tsuburaya Productions partnered with an Australian film company to produce a 13-episode series. The series these toys were based on, titled Ultraman Towards the Future. When it was brought to Japan, it was renamed Ultraman Great as to not confuse the audience with the original show from '66. Apparently, it also aired in the US around the time the toys were released, though I never saw it on TV at all in my area when I was a kid.
If you got to see the show when it aired, let me know in what area that was in, as I'm definitely curious to know whether or not it did actually air at some point when somebody could actually watch it. In the meantime, let's take a look at the show's heroes to see what makes this show so great.
The heroes.
Ultraman Towards the Future features a scientific military organization known simply as, I'm going to let the show tell you.
Who are you? We're from Uma. Uma?
What does Yuma stand for? Oh, well, they don't actually tell you in the show. You have to look it up yourself. Which is, let's see. It stands for Universal Multi-Purpose Agency. Universal Multi-Purpose Agency. Did you get that? Okay. That's cool.
As with the original show, our lead hero, Jack Shindo, played by Dore Kraus, is a standard human who has merged with the series Ultraman. It isn't clear if Ultraman fused with Jack because one or the other was dying, or if it was just mutually beneficial to both parties and the Earths, but they did. When the show kicks off, Jack and a colleague of his are exploring the barren wastelands of Mars,
or in reality, the barren wastelands of Australia,
when they are attacked by a giant monster.
So basically, Australia normally.
What is it? Shut up, it can home in on our intercom system.
Ultraman appears to destroy the monster, though he's a little too late as Jack's partner is killed in the process. The next time we see Jack, he is back on Earth sometime later and waiting for some type of evil creature to attack the planet.
Alone on Earth, one witness knows that this is just the beginning.
So this is where we'll meet again, Gudis.
There's not really much to Jack's characters. We don't learn much about him. Outside of that, he was an astronaut offered a job at Yuma upon his return due to his supposed knowledge of what is happening. He's quite one-dimensional, has the emotions that would make even Dr. Nick Tatopoulos from Godzilla 98 squeal, damn! I'm sorry, I put way too much emotion into that for Nick Tatopoulos. It would be more like, damn.
That's something for you too.
I hate sandwiches.
It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Oh, it's this.
It's lovely, what is it? It's lovely, what is it? It's lovely, what is it? It's lovely, what is it?
Ultraman has even less of a personality, rendering him to be one of the blandest Ultras I have seen thus far.
Sometimes I feel I have more in common with that Gigasaurus than my own kind.
You see these two figures here? See them? See them? See them? They have more depth and detail than Ultraman does in this show. These are actually kind of cool, but you know what isn't cool? Ultraman Great. More like Ultraman Not So Great. Jack transforms via a triangular necklace. Lastly, the color timer rules still apply here. This time they make a screeching alarm sound as if an Umbrella lab facility was about to self-destruct.
Because of Earth's polluted atmosphere, Ultraman can only retain his gigantic form for 3 minutes. Time is running out.
The other members of Yuma include Jack's possible girlfriend, whose love interest is never mentioned again beyond the first few episodes, Jean Echo. And god damn is she a violent woman.
That's bullshit!
The technical expert, Charles Morgan.
Can't I leave you alone for an hour? Listen, indispensable, that lizard you pronounce dead is walking.
It's a Gigasaurus, and I said it was dormant. There is a difference.
Token black character, Lloyd Wilder.
We investigate extraterrestrial phenomena, UFOs, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we had a busload of them through yesterday.
Token Asian girl, Kim Shonan.
Why don't you take a break from here?
I can't, we've got no answers.
You're no help to anyone unless you're thinking straight.
And their commander, who is by far the best character on the show, Arthur Grant.
Your resident expert, Charlie, told us it was dead.
Dormant and dead are two different things. And why haven't your people found Shindo yet?
I just love how Arthur nonchalantly reacts to certain situations, as you can see here.
It's intelligence service on the line.
That's a contradiction in term.
Here.
And how do we dispatch this grasshopper? I mean, kill it? Yes.
Oh, I'm a lover, not a fighter. It's not my department.
Think again.
And here.
Australia will be ash.
How is that different from the norm? I mean, there's a reason that Australia is used for filming Mad Max. There's not much to his character beyond that, but I gotta love how bad Ralph Cotterell's performance is.
Arthur, Kim is down, and we've lost Jimmy.
Well, do what you can.
In fact, the acting is pretty bad across the board. Gia Karides, Lloyd Morris, Rick Adams, and Grace Parr portray the other members of the team. The only thing we really learn about any of these characters beyond Jean being in love with Jack is that Charles is a womanizer and he likes to complain a lot. Everyone else is flatter than the paper I am reading this from.
Yo, yo! Yo, yo! Yo, yo! Cardboard box!
Lastly, there is an occasional over-the-top superior officer that makes an appearance who sounds a lot like Tim Curry.
I want every available aircraft over that thing within the hour. We've got a target, and we're going for it.
Oh, and this dude named Ike. Ike, kid you not.
You'll only make a mess of things.
Yes, but it'll be our mess, won't it, Miss Echo? Echo, 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 Echo.
The villains! This show is weird with its villains. The first 6 episodes features a race of parasites or something that infect other creatures.
People watch in awe, little realizing that it heralds the arrival of Buddhists.
Did you just call them Buddhists?
Buddhists.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're called Goodists. Yes, the Goodists are featured in the first 6 episodes of the show. For the remaining 7 episodes, however, there's just standard monsters of the week that have no relation to each other, except for one special circumstance, but that still doesn't make any sense. It's quite perplexing. Why would you have a centralized villain for the first half of the show, and then just regular monsters for the second half? It's only 13 episodes. Why not just have the entire show related to the Gudis? Or why not spread out the Gudis related story so that it actually concludes with the show's conclusion, instead of having the conclusion just feature some random ass monsters? Well, whatever. How are these monsters of the week? They're pretty lackluster. I like the designs of a couple of them, such as Bogan, Garukadan, and the fat Gamera wannabe Kodalar. However, none of these monsters have any sort of personality, and the so-called Gudis human agent barely had any screen time to warrant being talked about beyond this sentence. Again, like the rest of the show, they're just there. It's also quite pathetic that Gudis himself was defeated with such ease. There's a reason this creature has never been brought back again. Next. The effects and music. Surely despite the cardboard heroes and villains, the effects and music have to be better, right? Right? Nope! The miniatures are lazily done as they clearly look fake, and it doesn't help that most of the fight scenes are in a forest or desert area. There is no unique camera work used to make up for the uninspiring fights either. The best fight in the show comes from the battle against Kodalar on the docks. To make matters even worse, Ultraman doesn't even have some type of big beam attack to finish off the monsters. The fights are pretty much relegated to some punches, a couple of quick tiny beams, and then they're done. Oh, and the rest of the effects are bad, especially the ones that utilize a chroma keyed background.
We've got some trouble here. Doesn't look like Mr. Johnson wants to talk.
We're on our way. We'll make the approach from the other side.
What's the swarm doing?
It's heading your way.
As for the music, Shinsuke Kazato composed the show's soundtrack, which, as you can probably figure out based on my assessment of the series already, blows as well. The opening and ending themes are identical, which is just some generic music. The least they could have done was given the show an actual grand opening theme like the standard Japanese series have. There was pretty much only one track in the entire show I liked. The episodes! Okay, so the heroes suck, the villains suck, the effects and music suck. What about the episodes themselves? They're not much better. My favorite episode is the 9th episode of the show, titled The Biospherians. In this episode, a scientist is developing a new type of environment for people to live in, utilizing a specialized plant species.
You mean the plants themselves control what goes into them?
Exactly! Doctor doesn't always know what's best.
Naturally, it turns out the plants are aliens and Yuma must figure out what their plan is. The reason it is my favorite is that it is the only episode that has a nice horror feel to it compared to the other shows. It's also the only one that truly felt like there was a reason for a scientific organization to exist in this universe. The techno-organic plant monster was kinda cool too, even if he wasn't my favorite in the show.
Prepare to be reformatted.
As for the worst episode, well, there are quite a few in this category. I'm giving it to The Child's Dream. Not only is this a poorly made episode, especially in the effects department, but the editing of the narrative is a mess. A group of kids are taken to a dig site to help uncover bones. There, they are informed the dig site is being shut down, so their field trip is abruptly ended.
You mean they can't give us another day? After all this work?
Look, we better move out of here because it will be too dangerous once they start bringing in the rest of their machinery.
We see one of the kids complain, and then suddenly he's being taken away in an ambulance with some exposition that tells us his lizard ran away in a tunnel and he got injured chasing after it.
Now, what was he doing down there?
He lost Gus, his pet lizard.
The next scene with the child has him being a dick to Kim, who apparently knows him, and he has a crystal that allows him to summon Garukadan because it is his lizard transformed or something. We are not even shown how he acquired the crystal, nor how his lizard became Garukadan. It just is. There's even a scene of two police officers investigating a merry-go-round that started up, and Garukadan is riding on it. The kid is sitting right there, but the cops don't notice him. Jack speaks to him.
You looking for someone?
He was my mate.
Did you find him? You know he's out here, don't you?
And then we go to the next day where Yuma learns the boy is not himself.
That's not Jimmy. The Goodis is cloning from him.
None of it makes any sense. And this is actually a frequent problem with the show. Random things will happen in the narrative without any explanation whatsoever, leaving the viewer vexed and wondering if they missed a scene or something. It's quite disdainful that this show is too inept at even explaining its own plot. I'm not sure if this was done intentionally or if this occurred due to a rushed filming schedule, but it is an insult to the audience. Either fully flesh out your plots or don't do them at all. Even the last two episodes of the show feature this issue as characters are doing stuff that makes no sense. In one scene, we see Ike doing his best Phil Coulson impersonation. The next time we see him, he's wearing a beret as if he joined some other group, and then he's a bum. Once again, none of this makes any sense. I really wish there was more I could talk about with this show or its characters, but I can't. I didn't downright hate the show. I just didn't like it either. In fact, it pretty much fits in that usual category that people will say it's so bad it's good. Nevertheless, I am going to give Ultraman Not So Great a despicable 2 out of 5 grown-ups in spandex. Speaking of spandex, did you know that this was the first Ultraman show to have Ultraman's costume made of spandex? That's kind of cool. Other than that, the horrendous acting does kind of keep you entertained, and because it's only 13 episodes, you never truly feel like it was a complete waste of time, especially compared to another 13 episode series such as Ultra 7X. Just don't go into this expecting anything special, which is kind of a shame since it was like the first English speaking Ultra series that was made for English speakers. Well, whatever. Until next time. Bye.
Got something for you too.
I hate sandwiches.
No, it's this.
It's lovely. What is it?